Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Mark, this is Spiguyver Backpacking, and today I'm coming to you with a gear review. Now this is a piece of gear that I tested, I took with me out on my 4-day Appalachian Trail trip just a little bit earlier this month, late June, early July. I was out on the trail and I took with me this backpack. Now this is the Zimmerbuilt Quickstep backpack. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at this and do a full review on what I liked and disliked about this pack. So let's do this. So Zimmerbuilt is a smaller company that is mostly known for doing custom work. However, they do have 2 backpacks on their website that you can get, just stock backpacks. I actually picked this one up from an online group on Facebook where somebody was looking to trade for a hydration pack, and I had an old Osprey Raptor that I wasn't using anymore. It's just been sitting around. So I traded that and a couple of other things for this backpack. Now this backpack is a relatively cheap backpack when it comes to a Cuben fiber backpack. So this thing is Cuben fiber. It is $150 on their website retail. Now I have added one piece to it. I added the chest strap. Like I talked about while I was out backpacking, I added the chest strap to it, which I think was a great addition for me. And that was an additional $5. I think it was maybe $7 shipped. So it was relatively cheap. I just called up Chris at Zimmerbuilt and he hooked me up with it, sent it out my way, and I had it for the trip. So let's take a look at some of the details of this. Let's talk about it. So like I said, this is a Cuben fiber pack. It is a 50D Cuben fiber hybrid that the entire pack is made out of. So the back panel is black, the rest of it is green. I think you can also get it in orange. I like the green, doesn't have any problems there. Just like my other Cuben fiber pack, my Appalachian Ultralight, this one has the roll top and it has the clips on the side. So just like a dry bag, it does the roll top. The difference between this one and several of the others out there, the Z-Packs, my Appalachian Ultralight, I believe the HMG, those are all Velcro, and this one has 3 snaps. So the snaps just kind of snap together pretty easy. They're a plastic snap, so they don't feel like they're all that heavy or something that would damage anything. And then once you have it, you just roll it down, take those side, very easily adjusted, clip it together, and then tighten it up however much you want to. The volume of this pack, it's listed that the main compartment is 1,700 cubic inches, and that is around, I believe, 27, 28 liters. It says 2,200 cubic inches for everything combined. So that's the side pockets, the back panel, and the inner, and that comes out to about 36 liters. So if you want to give it a good comparison against something else, total volume, you're looking at about 36 liters. This is a minimalist pack, and it does not have a waist belt. So when it's on you, it's just the shoulder straps. I wasn't sure, honestly, how I was going to like that. We'll talk about that in a minute. The shoulder straps themselves are also very, very minimalist. They are not padded, they're very thin, and it is a 3D mesh on one side and a Dyneema X on the other side with a webbing daisy chain down to the adjustment point. Like I said, no waist belt, so very, very light when it's on you. As long as you keep your load weight down, it actually is pretty darn comfortable. It's sewn in very well at the top. I was afraid with the small amount of contact point here that there may be some separation since all of the weight is on the shoulder straps. But so far, the way that it is sewn in with the diamond at the bottom and the double, triple stitching and then the zigzag stitching up at the top of the shoulders, I kept my load well under 20 pounds for this trip, and I had absolutely no problems at all. Now I had 4 days worth of food, I had water, I had all my equipment in here, and it worked. And you can see from the trip just the the way it carried, how it looked on me, and how minimalist it was. As a matter of fact, I even noted at one point that as I walked by a large group of people, they noted that I was carrying a very small pack, and some of the adults said, well, he was just out for a day hike. I was actually out for 4 days. So pretty impressive what you can do with a very, very small pack when you keep your base weight low. So let's take some close-up look at this pack. So right now you can see this pack. I have it stuffed with just some quilts just to fill it out so that you can get a good look at it. Now inside, one of the things I noticed, and I wasn't sure how well this was going to work, the seams, rather than being seam sealed or taped, have a grow gain. They're kind of doubled over and then grow gained so that they are sandwiched. Now I wasn't sure how that was going to work and how waterproof it was going to keep it. But if you go back and you look at my video from the Appalachian Trail trip, I was in an absolute downpour. I did have a compactor bag with all of my quilts in it inside, but nothing else got wet. It did not seep water. And you can see the seam goes all the way down the entire side, and it's like that all the way down through. It never got wet inside. You can see the snaps up at the top that come together to form the closure on the top. Pretty easy to work, even one-handed. They're light enough that you can pull them apart one-handed. Here is the webbing with the hook, and this is attached down at the bottom. And so this comes up, and then they come together, very easily adjusted. They come together after you roll the top down, just like on any dry bag. And then once it's there, you can make the adjustment, and it all works really well. I like the size of these side pockets. I mean, they are pretty generous. In one side, I had all of my water filtration and some of my camera gear, and at times I had even my recorder, my mic in here. The other side, I had my cook kit and fuel and still had room to spare. At the top, it has the Dyneema X. So it's mesh all the way through. This is not a stretchy mesh. It is a solid, rigid mesh. And then you have the Dyneema X all along the top. And through this channel, there is shock cord. And then they've got these really cool little, the shock cord, like a barrel lock, but this one's a little bit different. And I actually really like these. And so you can really adjust these down so that if this is full, you leave it a little bit loose. If it's not so full, you can really adjust these tight and cinch down what's inside. Also, this complete mesh panel back here on the back or front of the pack, whatever you want to call it, I was able to stuff a lot of stuff in. I had my tarp, my cozy, my rain kit, my bathroom gear, all of that stuff, all my essentials were out there. Like I said, this side had my cooking kit in it and had no problems. Now looking at the shoulder straps, you can see just how flexible and how minimal they are, but they have the daisy chain, and I put some elastic on here, and usually I carry my water bottles on here, but because of the way that this side pocket is cut, on this side where I had my water filtration, I also slid a water bottle in there, and I was able to reach back. Even with my shoulder issues, I was able to reach back and pull out a water bottle, no problem. So you can see how they come down. They've got good webbing straps and good adjustment. They didn't go with too thin of a webbing, so it actually holds up pretty well and provides a little bit of structure there. So that's kind of the basics of it. You can see here the stitching to hold on the shoulder straps. And while I thought that might be a little minimal for what we were doing, and here's the bottom of it, both sides, it held together really, really well and rode well. So let's take a look at what it looks like on. So this is what it looks like on. Now it's pretty much filled about as high as it can go with my quilts. Of course, with the light quilts in there, it feels like I'm wearing absolutely nothing right now on my back. But this is how it normally would come. And what I found when I was day hiking with it, with a good load, is that it was out pretty far on my shoulders. And I liked it, kind of in a little bit more. So I went ahead and purchased the sternum strap, the chest strap. And now that allows me to pull it in and really situate it where I want it for the trip to hike with. And it feels really, really comfortable. Added benefit, like Osprey and some of the others, this has the built-in whistle. I have never tested it to see how far it travels or anything like that, but it's a good benefit. It's an additional thing that, you know, if you were to fall and something was to happen and you can't reach where your whistle is, you know, a lot of people like to carry their whistle out here somewhere so that's easy access in those cases, but this one has that here. Not a bad feature, not a bad feature at all. So, what did I think about carrying this when I was out hiking? Did I miss the waist belt? The first day, towards the end of the day, I was kind of thinking, oh, this is going to be a long trip and my shoulders are really going to bother me. But really, when it came down to it, as the trip went on, I got more used to it and I was eating some of the food, so it wasn't quite as heavy, but I carried way too much food on this trip and I still ended up walking out with probably 3 to 4 pounds of food in my pack. What I want to say though is that it carried really well. It was really comfortable. Not having any structure to it, no back pad or anything in there. By placing your equipment in the right spots in there with the quilts kind of up against your back, it really does feel comfortable and ride really well. And I was surprised, you know, under 10 ounces for a backpack. It's Cuben fiber, it's waterproof, at the very least very water resistant. I know that the seams aren't taped like some people would like, but for the price, $150 to get into this one, man, there's not much out there that can touch it if you are ultralight and you're trying to find a decent backpack. So there you go, guys. This is the Zimmerbuilt Quickstep backpack. I added the sternum strap to it, but other than that, it is completely stock. 150 bucks. If you want to get the sternum strap, probably about 155 bucks plus shipping. Solid ultralight backpack, under 10 ounces, listed at 9.75 ounces. Mine was a little bit heavier than that, but still under 10 ounces. I liked it. I will use it again. It is, you know, it feels solid. Unlike some of the other lighter weight Cuben fibers out there, this hybrid Cuben fiber feels like it will really hold up to a lot of abuse. Although I'm not going to abuse it, I like knowing that it feels sturdy. Comfortable pack. I've used it on multi-night trips now, and gotta say, I like it. So guys, if you're interested, if you're looking, go check out Zimmerbuilt, see what they've got. Maybe this doesn't work for you. Maybe the size isn't quite what you're looking for. They can build you exactly what you need. So go check them out. Another company out there to put on your radar. Thanks, guys. I'll see you down the trail.